What's going on, YouTubers? My name is Robert Serrano Jr., natural born thriller. Welcome everyone to WWE NXT UK review, the show from November 7th, 2018. Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness, your commentators for NXT UK. So, folks, WWE did it again. On their WWE network, they uploaded two more episodes of NXT UK. And I think at this point now it's a good idea because these were taped episodes from back in the summer, so somewhere around that time from the summer, which is good that they're putting up two episodes of NXT UK reviews. I mean episodes, I meant to say. So because it was on, there was two episodes on the same day from November 7th, I'm gonna give you two reviews of NXT review. How you're gonna tell the difference? Well, you'll see what I do where pertains to for me being clever from it. So let's just jump right into it. For again, for this review, this was episode 5 for NXT UK review. It started off with Ligero versus Drake. I mean, James Drake, I meant to say. But before they had this match, they showed a video package, obviously. Ligero, I meant to say. Ligero. They showed a video package of him. It was pretty good video package to know who he is and why he's a part of this NXT UK division. Then we get to James Drake with his video package too. Sorry about that, folks. I was saying before, James Drake of his video package to know who he is and what he's about, and what he brings to the table for NXT UK. So we get to the match. Ligero. That's how I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, folks. But Ligero, who wears a luchador mask, by the way, but in a way he's got some horns for his luchador mask. But anyways, Ligero gets the win over James Drake in a decent match. And I got nothing to say about that other than it was a decent match. Next we get to NXT UK Women's Division match. Toni Storm. Well, actually, now think about it, folks. It was actually I'm sorry, folks. That was the wrong one. That didn't happen to episode 6 of NXT UK. But they did show Toni Storm being interviewed, and then also Dakota Kai walks up and talks about how she respects her and everything, and that they're gonna have that match on the next episode of NXT UK. So yeah, my apologies for that, folks. I read the results wrong here, and also on top of it, I'm way behind all that. So in a way, I kind of screwed up there a little bit. So next we get to Ashton Smith, a video package of him or what he's about, what he brings to the table for NXT UK, what's going to happen with him moving forward. And then we get one with Zach Gibson about who he is and what he's about, and yeah, he definitely, and you all know, praying for me a couple of times about him, Zach Gibson. He's going to be something, and with that type of nuclear heat, he's going to make the NXT UK brand a lot of money for that too. So yeah, it's good that Zach Gibson got that type of heat for these fans, and on top of that, he's a very good wrestler too. So, and there you go. Next, we get to what we were supposed to have a match where it pertains to Ashton Smith, but we want to know who he's going to wrestle because also the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang beats up on Ashton Smith on stage. And they dorm into the back into the grip position, and they cut a promo. They basically cut a promo about they can they uh attacked people from the past, and they'll attack anyone they want, and they say that they they're not liked and they don't care. Also mentioned about it's about blood and his trying to remember how it was said. Something about because the Gibson brothers, I mean not Gibson brothers, the Coffee brothers are brothers, Joe and Mark Coffee. Um, and they want to make their own ways. Also alongside with Wolfgang. And it's about how they are NXT UK, not the fans. The fans are not NXT UK. They are the Coffee brothers and Wolfgang. That faction, whatever that faction is going to be called. They are NXT UK. And they say that no one's on their levels, and it'll take out any of the weak links of NXT UK. No one, there'll be no more British strong style, and this is their kingdom, and that was the promo. Very effective promo, and they also say to there from there. So, yeah, pretty good. Finally, we get the debut of Eddie Dennis, where they say that he is 6'5" tall, and I say to myself, I think WWE is I think they're trying to exaggerate sometimes with their these wrestlers or their heights, like with Andre the Giant at the time when they say he was some 7'4", or 7'5". I can't remember what was the actual height, But I think sometimes WWE will over exaggerate with these heights for these wrestlers, especially even for the small guys too. But yeah, but looking at Eddie Dennis, he looks like he's a tall dude. I don't know if that's his actual height, but he's pretty tall, and he defeated Sis Scarla, and match itself was pretty decent. Say about the match, then it was pretty decent, especially it was also to showcase Eddie Dennis, what he's about. He's the guy that was based on in his promos, his video vignettes that Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews were the they went on to be successful on the scene of WWE while he was on the sidelines, And also, Sid Scarlett also shows some in the match too, only for him to lose at the end of the day, because that they want to do, they see a lot of potential in Eddie Dennis, and I see some potential in him too, and we'll see how what else he can bring to the table for NXT UK. So there you go. Speaking of where it pertains to mentioning Eddie Dennis, his one of his friends, the NXT UK champion, United Kingdom champion, Pete Dunne defends his title against Danny Burch in a great match, a great championship match, next to Noam Dar and Pete Dunne of the NXT championship that they had weeks ago. I believe it was from the first episode. And this match, holy oh my god, it was incredible. And at the end of the day, Pete Dunne wins, and he won by submission, which is surprising. They kicking out the finishers, Pete Dunne's finishing move, Danny Burch's finishing move. And they were doing a lot of stiff, strong styles to each other. British strong styles type of way. And Pete Dunne, he's amazing, pretty damn good. And in the end, Pete Dunne gets the win. Like I said, he retains the NXT UK championship. Which is kind of expected. So in a way, I'm kind of glad he did. Talking about wrestling for the 5th episode of NXT UK from November 7th, 2018. 3 matches. I was gonna say 4, but then you think about Ashton Smith was supposed to have a match, but then the Coffee Brothers and Joe, Wolfgang, meant to say, basically canceled that match. So yeah, it was just 3 matches. My overall scoring for the show, I'm gonna go 6 out of 10. In fact, I'll go 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, in fact, I'll go 7. Yeah, let's go with 7. I'm gonna go with 7 out of 10. I thought it was a pretty good show. And the reason why I'm gonna put up 7 out of 10 is particularly because of that main event for the NXT UK Championship with Pete Dunne successfully defending it against Danny Burch. And now we move on to episode 6 of WWE NXT UK review, the show from November 7th, 2018, with Vic Joseph, meant to say, excuse me, and Nigel McGuinness on commentary. And by the way, you see what I did there? I switched hats. That way you'll know where it pertains to WWE posting up 2 episodes of NXT reviews on the same day. That's how I'm gonna. That's how you'll see how that's gonna be. So there you go. So the show opened up with the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang showing up at the arena. Well, actually, they were outside, but they're about to go inside the arena. Then we get to a Mania Classic recap from WWE Evolution, I meant to say, excuse me, between Toni Storm versus Io Shirai, where they're showcasing that Toni Storm won the Mania Classic tournament to be number 1 contender. And folks, at first I thought it was going to be for the NXT Women's Championship, but by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to be Toni Storm going after the NXT UK Women's Championship. Because because thinking about it again, folks, these shows were recorded during the summer, and they're basically wanted to do something with Toni Storm going up against the NXT UK Women's Champion instead of the NXT Women's Champion from NXT. Which I thought was a letdown, and then that was supposed to be the original plan for just like over last year's Mania Classic, where when Kairi Sane won her tournament, she's going to face the NXT Women's Champion. And now it's the reversal here, because Toni Storm is part of the UK division for for NXT UK. I meant to say. They decided since Toni Storm didn't win the tournament, they should go back to the NXT UK Women's Championship, which is currently held by Rhea Ripley. And let's just say Io Shirai would have won, then because Io Shirai is signed with WWE too as well, but she's signed with NXT, which means if Io Shirai would have won that tournament, then it will be Io Shirai granted the NXT Women's Championship. And now, because Toni Storm, who won the tournament back in at the WWE's All Women pay-per-view for Evolution, Toni Storm is going to go after the women's title at her division, at her show, NXT UK. But anyways, so we get Toni Storm defeating Dakota Kai in a very good women's match. At one point, we had a little botch there by Dakota Kai from the double foot stomp on the ground. But besides that, it ends up being a very good match. So after the match, like I said, Toni Storm defeated Dakota Kai. It was a good match to open up the show, and they show sportsmanship. They show some respect. Dakota Kai leaves. She's on the stage. Also, she gets attacked by the debut of Jinny, and Jinny says that this is her NXT and all that, and then she leaves, and then Toni Storm goes to check on Dakota Kai, and she ends up being alright. The attack was not that brutal or vicious, or violent, but it was an attack to for Jinny to make a statement that she's finally arrived at NXT UK, and she wants to a piece of Toni Storm sometimes in the future. So we get Zach Gibson defeating Armour Jordan. I did tell he pronounces his first name, but the match itself was pretty decent. And Zach Gibson was getting heel heat from the crowds. If you hate Gibson, shoes off. If you hate Gibson, stand up. Nothing but nuclear heat to Zach Gibson. And Zach Gibson is as his opponent. He's like, they're chanting for my name, and not once they chant your name. And he's got a point there too. Even despite how the fans are chanting for Gibson's name in a negative way, he is getting cheered. But I mean they are chanting his name at the end of the day, which means they're WWE when they see this and when he cuts that promo like that, when he's talking about that to his opponent about Gibson's getting more name value than Armor Jordan. Armor Jordan is. Again, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his first name, but yeah, you get the point there. Zach Gibson is one is getting these fans to chant his name instead of Jordan. Armor Jordan. Armor Jordan. I don't know. I don't know. I'll try to pronounce it though, but sometime in the future, because he is part of the UK division too as well. But anyways, but Zach Gibson is winning the match, but and there you go. And after the match, he cuts a promo about he talks about he's Liverpool's #1 and soon to be NXT UK #1. And talks about how he's always been victorious, and he talks about how he was victorious at the UK Championship tournament to be #1 contender against Pete Dunne. He says he defeated one of the 205 Live stars in Noam Dar. Talks about how he wants to be NXT UK champion, and he says that the brand of NXT UK is over because of Zach Gibson, and it's about how it's not over because of Pete Dunne or Danny Burch or by Mark Andrews. And also Trent Seven comes out. Trent Seven confronts him and says that, "Are you delusional?" And says that he's like Trent Seven and Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews, Danny Burch, they were part of the first ever NXT UK tournament. And where was Zach Gibson? Oh yeah, he says he insulted him by saying you were at your mom's, having a cup of tea with a laptop, watching it on the WWE network. And I thought that was funny. Sort of. I chuckle basically, but and he says at night 1 he was good, and won the tournament, but night 2 didn't matter because he lost. And then he says and he said on that night, everyone had their shoes off because they hate Zach Gibson, and he says and you want to prove that you are Liverpool's #1, and you want to prove that this NXT UK brand is over because of you, then why don't you face me right here, right now? So he challenges him to a match, and then Zach Gibson's like, nope, I just had a match, and he's also and everything, and basically the match there was no match going on after that because Zach Gibson obviously being the heel and all that. So yeah. And there you go. So yeah, I guess that's great on the next matchup, Zach Gibson versus Trent Seven, and I cannot wait for that. So we got Kenny Williams cutting a promo, and basically not much to say other than him cutting a promo, and he has a behind the match. So speaking of which, he had a match against Jordan Devlin, as Jordan Devlin defeats Kenny Williams in a very good match. I thought so. And Kenny Williams was basically, as I hear in the commentators, either Vic Joseph or Nigel McGuinness, one of those two, that Kenny Williams, he will take high flying risk like a Jeff Hardy, because he looks up to Jeff Hardy as one of his favorites and all that. And okay, that's cool. And also, Kenny Williams has a good build. He's got a good a nice physique. And just on the way he moves in the ring too, I could tell he's got some potential. But in the end, he ends up losing against Jordan Devlin in the match. Then we get to the main event. It was a six-man tag team match. The Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang defeating Flash Morgan, Webster, Mark Andrews, and Ashton Smith. Whoop! Whoop! That's what Ashton Smith does. Whoop! Anyways, but the match itself, it was decent. There was some cool spots in the match, like some high flying spots from Flash Morgan Webster, from Mark Andrews, and from Ashton Smith. But in the end, it was Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang as like in the win at the end of it. So there you go, and that was episode 6 for NXT UK. For November 11th, 2018, and when that talking about wrestling for NXT UK for episode 6. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 4 matches. Yeah, 4 matches. And my overall rating for the show, for episode 6 of WWE NXT UK, the show from November 7th, 2018, I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, folks. This was your WWE NXT review. If this is your first time watching me, my name is Robert Serrano Jr., Natural Born Driller. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please do so if you haven't done so yet. If you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up or give it a thumbs down. The choice is yours and yours alone. And with that being said, I'm gonna get out here. Yo, take care. You have a you enjoy yourselves, and I'll talk to you all soon. But for now, peace on the streets.